This is not your normal discussion where we talk about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered. This is not your normal discussion where we talk about the hard topics uncensored and unfiltered. This is not your normal discussion.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Not Your Normal Discussion. I am your host, Queen Pedii.
Hi, y'all. I'm Nina.
I'm Tryst, coming out y'all with bliss.
It's your man Samurai with two eyes.
And your boy Kenny.
All right. So, I hope everybody had a great week. I hope that, everybody enjoyed themselves. I slept all weekend. And yeah, that was basically my weekend. Sleeping. Anybody?
Well, I hope everybody had a great Mother's Day on this past Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. I enjoyed having time with my kids. And I like all the gifts that they bought for themselves for me.
Oh. Well, it's been a good week. It's shaping up to be a very busy week at the end of it. And I wrote my mom a song for Mother's Day, but I haven't sent it to her yet because I feel like, we're not there yet for that kind of song. But it's been all love. It's been all good.
Wait, what kind of song is it?
Well, it's just talking about basically, the bittersweet upraising that we've had and bittersweet relationship that we and the family had. So it's a real song from the heart, but at the same time, it's like, would a mom want that on Mother's Day? I don't know. So we'll see.
Oh, no, you should have saw what my daughter wrote on her Mother's Day card. She wrote, oopsie.
I forgot about Mother's Day. I mean, no, I got my mom a card, but,
She said, from Leah to the mom who puts up with our shit all the time, a.k.a. the best mom in the world.
Oh,
That's still sweet.
That way she don't get in trouble, because she's allowed to use one curse word a day. Because I think that if I don't let her do it, she's going to do it somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, once a day, I don't care if it's at school, at home, wherever, but you only get one.
Like a Marvel movie.
I like that.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, man, I just been working. I got some new videos that I put up, so I got a lot of editing to do today. Everyone that knows me is going to be like, you've lost your mind, but I got the first vaccine, and I don't know how I feel about that.
You'll be fine.
I think I'm going to turn into a zombie now, and I'm not happy, but I have to travel, so they got me.
Oh,
shit. Well, I ain't really do nothing for my mom for Mother's Day. And she got her own place. I got my own shit, so that's a good gift for her. Shocking that, she was shocked at my age. She was like, "Oh my god, I'm getting old." I'm like, yeah, happy Mother's Day. And I gift to her.
Still nonchalant with it. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, so she's alright.
All right. Okay. Y'all are funny as hell. But yeah, I forgot to mention, I got my mom this card. It has like my picture, my brother's picture, and her fur grandbabies, the kitties and the dog. So it was really nice. And she was like, "Oh my God, thank you." So yeah. All right, but our topics are going to be the Supreme Court overturning the Roe versus Wade, Dave Chappelle being attacked and has comedy gone too far? Do you believe that men can be do you believe that men can be in an abusive relationship just as much as women? Is online dating messing up how we get to know and socialize with each other? And who should be able to fly their flag, Christians or Satanists, in the Boston Supreme Court? All right. We are going to hear a word from our sponsors.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. Since 2008, Tiffany's Creative Crystals has been making handmade earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. They do custom order and special requests depending on availability, and also repairs to jewelry depending on what is needed to be fixed. Shop with Tiffany's Creative Crystals. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
All right, you guys. So, as you know, about 2 weeks ago now, the Supreme Court had a leak. Well, someone in the Supreme Court leaked a draft of the Supreme Court justices overturning Roe versus Wade and making abortion illegal. So this is a really bad thing if you are a woman or a trans man. This is bad because when it comes to our reproductive rights, I don't feel like other people should be able to say that I can't abort a baby if it is detrimental to my health, if it's detrimental to my financial situation, if it's just detrimental overall, if I just don't want it. I don't think that old white and black men and old white women probably so, should be saying that I can't choose whether or not I want to have a baby or not. That's not your business. Are you going to adopt that child? I want to know because y'all are always saying, "Oh, keep the baby," and da da da, and then those babies end up in foster care and they end up in orphanages where they are not even treated right. So I do not understand with this fascination with people wanting to control how women are birthing babies at this point. Like, leave us alone, let us do what we want to do, and like just ignore, not ignore, I'm sorry. Please stop trying to control our reproductive systems. You already don't give a fuck about us. You hardly want us to do birth control. Like, what? Why? Why do you want more kids to go into the foster system? Why? Go ahead. Anybody else? Anybody? I'm sorry,
Well,
y'all.
I
So for me, my issue is that so me and James, when we first got together, he said, or once we got married or whatever, he said if I ever had an abortion, he would divorce me, and that was like a big issue for me because like you just took away my control of my body
Yeah,
without even like what happened if we didn't have enough money and I did get pregnant and I had to because at the end of the day, I know people are like, oh, one side is like, oh, I don't want my tax money to go pay for this person to get their abortion, but it's still cheaper for them to get abortion versus them being on the system all these years getting welfare checks and food stamps and all that. Because the more kids you have, because at the end of the day, it really lands on a woman to take care of these kids. Even though there are a few men that do step up and take responsibility, at the end of the day, if a kid gets sick, who has to go take them to the doctor? If the
yeah,
if the kid IEP meeting, who has to go to that? It is more likely for a woman to have to do all these duties, and it doesn't even matter if the woman works more than a man. Is that 9 out of 10, the woman still got to come home and still got to take care of the kids, or still got to take time off from work, especially during this pandemic. A lot of the females had to quit their job because they had to take care of the kids. So at the end, and daycare is not cheap, y'all.
Ooh.
You pay more for for daycare, so we can work. We're basically working so we can put our kid in childcare so we can make a little bit of money to make the rent, and that is not. It's almost $3,000. When I put Annabelle and Leah when they were little and they had to go to daycare, we were paying almost $300 a week, and that was only for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
expensive.
it is. Yeah, it is. It is.
Ooh.
It's
Ooh,
like you're
baby,
paying
you ain't
rent
got no
basically.
kids.
It cost more than my rent. My rent was $800.
Mm.
Oh, thank you,
So
Lord. I still know.
even now, it's cheaper for me to not work versus trying to find somebody to watch the kids. Because, like I said, if I get sick, guess what? If when the kids get sick, they still going to be in childcare. I still got to pay for that day.
Yeah.
I might.
I mean, I'm with it and then I'm against it. You know, reason why I'm against it because what if situation she got raped or something bad happened, like I'm with it, but at the same time it's like if we since we like say if I get a girl pregnant and I decide I don't want it. She decides she doesn't want it. At least we can go to the doctors and figure out if she had something medical or something so where I can play my part too as well. Because I just feel as though I know it's a female's body part, but I also played a part of it. But I would like to learn some. I would like to be part of the decision, not just her making all of it.
But my thing is that the female has to carry the child for 9 months plus sometimes. And
Yeah.
during that time, a lot of guys they either step up or they dip. Or after the baby is born, they realize how much work because most of the time, if the baby's crying, it's the female that has to get up and feed the child. And she's losing more sleep because the man will be like, hey, I got to work tomorrow. I can't be taking care of him. So we end up being burnt out, especially if we don't have that great partnership. Because I love y'all men. I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. But y'all talk to us sweetly, saying, we're going to be there. We're going to help you out. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And at the end of the day, you're like, well, we're financially helping you. And
That's
that
not
is
enough.
great, but that's not enough for
It's not.
us. We need to
And
be there
I
to
understand.
do that.
Yeah.
That's a
And my
full
thing is,
time job.
I understand that, Kenny, we know that you step up, sir. We know that, you will do what you have to do. But when it comes to being pregnant, like y'all don't have to go through what we go through when being pregnant. Cause like I have been pregnant, y'all. So it was not fun for those little couple of months. I couldn't smell onions. I was sick. And then
Tacos.
like it's you said tacos is bad.
Taco made me so sick. That's how James Butler found out I was pregnant with Annabelle. Because
Oh
I
wow.
just we were eating
So,
tacos and all of a sudden I just had to throw up.
so like our bodies they change and like I said, like some of us are high risk. And we just it's
Hours.
when we make that decision that hey, I really don't want to keep this baby, like sometimes you just got to respect that. And I get that, y'all feel like hey, y'all have were a part of making the child and you should have part of the decision, but you are not the one that has to actually go through everything that happens during the pregnancy. You might have to go to 7-Eleven, get some ice cream that we might be craving or a pickle or some shit, but you don't have to go through the pressure in your back. You don't have to go through the Braxton Hicks. You don't have to go through the contractions. You don't have to push. You could be there.
Oh, I push
You
with
ain't
no
there.
medicine.
Or the C-section like she had with no medicine. You don't have to do that.
I had no
You
medicine
can
for all
do
three.
that during the pregnancy. Like that, it's just like you have to take in consideration the postpartum depression that we may get afterwards, the hair loss, the not being able to get your body back to where it was, having to get
Or getting
stitched up in your
diabetes.
JJ. Okay, so I had a teacher who when she had her child, she had to get stitches because her baby ripped her. So you have to take into consideration what our bodies are going to go through just to carry your child because
And
you
not
want the
only
kid.
that, but not only that, but when females get bigger or not, they don't get back to their size anymore. A lot of them attractive. They're like, oh, you guys are not the way you used to be, and we're not going to be because we produced kids for you guys or for the relationship or whatever it is or whatever way you want to call it. But at the end of the day, we're not going to look the same. We're not going to have the same mentality because we automatically have to step up during that 9 months. We're thinking about, for most of the females, not all, most, we're thinking about, okay, especially if it's our first baby, we eat healthy,
Yeah.
go to all the doctor's appointments because half the time, you guys got to work and we got to take time off to go to these doctor's appointments. I literally almost had my baby at Hardee's. My water broke in the back room, in the break room area. My water broke early in the morning. And every time I worked all the way up to I'm delivering or I'm supposed to deliver. Like Leah, I was still working. Jack, I literally had to come to work and tell my manager I had to go to the ER because my blood pressure was over the roof. They gave me medication and it wasn't working for me. And it just kept
Let's
going
hear
higher, higher.
let's hear from
So
Lynn.
go ahead, man.
Oh wait, has Tristan said anything?
No, not yet. But I mean, if Glenn wants to go first, he can.
I think we
I'm
jumped
sorry.
in.
Yeah, we did.
All right.
I mean, I can understand y'all jumping in. It's a very passionate topic. I definitely am on one side. I don't think that anybody has the right to tell a female what to do with their body, at all. Other than the point of what we made before about if we're together, I think the man should definitely have a say. But other than that, no, there's no, the world shouldn't be able to tell you, oh, abortions are illegal. That's ridiculous. That's sad. Um, on the other end, I think the topic has taken a turn to a whole other situation, which is I feel like some women, when y'all keep talking about everything that y'all have to go through, where's things that a man has to go through too? And that's why it's two parties. So yes, you have to go through all
What do
that,
y'all
but
go
that's
through?
your journey.
What do
Huh?
y'all go through? What do y'all go through?
Oh, we go through a
Let me
lot.
know.
One, we gotta deal with the attitude. We're usually the one, if you're a good man. Now, granted, we got men that are not men. But if you are a good man, you're
What
probably
attitude?
the one driving. You're probably the one going back and forth. We as a man have to make sure that everything is set. That the house is good, that you're comfortable, that the bills are still paid. So yeah, you gotta figure most of the time jobs will give a woman a longer time off than the male. Some jobs don't even give a male time off because you're not supposed to have time off as a male. As a male, you are the male. You're the one that's supposed to be keeping the roof over the head and making sure the bills are paid so that the woman can have the baby and chill back and worry about the baby.
Actually, men
For
are
me,
supposed to.
She
I'm
literally
old
just said
school.
she
That's
worked
how it's
through her
supposed to be.
pregnancy.
Say what?
She
I
literally just
work.
said she worked through her pregnancy. Women are working through their pregnancies
Yeah,
now
some
because
women do.
you need two
Yeah,
incomes
a
Yeah,
lot of
some
to
women
women
get.
do,
do.
and that's good. Like I said, I'm talking more on the old scale thing. Obviously, everybody doesn't do it that way, but old school, if you got pregnant, you should be in a position where you mainly take care of the child because the man is out busting their ass. Now you got a different situation if that's not the case and the man just not doing his job. But theoretically, the man is not there a whole lot because he's out there killing his ass to provide for the family. Whether that's taking a second job because you have a child, whether that's taking more hours just to keep the roof over the head, but he's supposed to be handling everything else so that the woman can chill back and mainly concentrate on the child.
Well, sadly, in this economy, we can't just chill back. And that is why right now, this is
not
why
anymore.
it's such a big issue because we still have to work. I
And
had
also,
a manager who literally worked up until she was getting ready to give birth. And then she came back maybe 2 months later, maybe.
at least 4.
Maybe. It
They
might
give you
have
at
been
least 6 to
a little
8
shorter.
weeks.
Yeah, it was like 6
And
weeks. So it was like a month and a
also-
half.
Also,
She's
men can have time off. It is written in law that men can have time off.
Yeah. So
The only
Yeah,
thing
most
is, just like
guys do,
females, you
yeah.
gotta require. Huh?
But you, let's let Tristan talk. He can finish this out real quick.
There's a lot of what we mean where like the banning of abortion is both a representation of like the problem of capitalism on like real middle class and like working class families, and then also the control of not just women but like young girls. So like on one end, the competition of like men, women, who should be taken care of, who should get to stay home. Like we don't live in the economy anymore where like a lot of men are able to comfortably take care of their partners, and like a lot of homes rely on both incomes on some level or some side hustle or something going on. And so you're not going to have a situation where like, and especially in a country where we don't have like guaranteed maternity leave, guaranteed paternity leave for everybody, you're going to have situations where like you're going to have people working till they're about to give birth and men feeling so frustrated and like, oh, causing issues. Well, I don't even want this kid. And then on top of that, we know the pro-life movement is going to just like, oh, we won, and like pack up. Like Mitch McConnell's already talking about a national ban on abortion. Like that could be the next step. There's people who are talking about, well, maybe the state should decide who should get to use contraceptives. And Marsha Blackburn, she has a bill that's floating around talking about only married couples should get to use contraceptives. And why are they doing all this? It's to control people, especially poorer people, and also girls. Like 1 in 5 young girls around the world get married before they're 18. And it doesn't happen as often in the United States, but often when it happens is because of these religious fundamentalist families where someone's teen daughter got pregnant because of some older guy. And so the family can save face. They don't want that guy going to jail and her being an unwed mother. So they kind of just force him to marry. And they can't really do that. The teen girl has the option to go and get abortion, or if there are all these laws that are actually keeping people from impregnating children. So all of this is about control, and all of this is about maintaining that status quo where like, because people can only afford to do so much, they'll never be able to get into that next level of social mobility. So that's going to affect especially women of color, black women. That's going to affect families of color. That's going to break up more families because, again, all this stress we're talking about. So we really, and then it's not just Republicans. Let's not forget that the Democrats, from since Roe v. Wade was passed, like by the Supreme Court, like since it was decided, for 70 years, didn't intervene, didn't make it a law. They just let it hang in the balance because, ooh, this is something we can get y'all to vote for every time it's under threat. Same thing with like black rights and all these other things. So we should be outside these people's homes. We should be telling them, listen, there's going to be hell to pay if you really take all these rights away. Black men should come in solidarity with black women on fighting for these issues. And there should be more groups coming together to like get people the birth control, the morning after pills, and the abortion pills that they need, because again, they got their eyes on all of that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go to our commercial break.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. Since 2008, Tiffany's Creative Crystals has been making handmade earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. They do custom order and special requests depending on availability, and also repairs to jewelry depending on what is needed to be fixed. Shop with Tiffany's Creative Crystals.
Hello. So the next topic is Dave Chappelle attack. Has comedy gone too far? So Thursday, uh, Elijah Lee, who's 23, was charged after attacking Dave Chappelle. He is charged with a single misdemeanor count of battery with the weapon. Dave Chappelle is really pissed off because he thinks that the guy he was to charge have the guy charged with a felony for that. And the main reason why is because Elijah Lee, he he's kind of a rapper, and he raps about like how much he loves Trump, and he didn't like how Dave Chappelle jokes about Trump, so he went and attacked. And I'm just sick of seeing comedy being attacked like this, because at the end of the day, comedy is supposed to be funny. It's supposed to get you out of your comfort zone. It's supposed to bring people together. Um, I watched a little bit of this comedy sketch. I forgot what it's called. But it's on Netflix. It's with the Asian guy. But he was talking about he was standing on a platform and telling everybody, "Hey, just start. Um, when I count to three, tell me who the most racist race is. One, go ahead. You guys can tell. You guys can say this is a free space, free speech. Go ahead, say it, say it." And then finally he goes, 1, 2, 3, and then somebody said, a couple of people say, he goes, "You guys are the worst one. That was a trick." So, but it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be funny. It's not supposed to be serious. Um, so with these two, so far that I know, two attacks on two different comedians, has comedy taken it too far, or should people just grow up
Um,
and have a sense of humor?
I think I'm gonna tell you.
And
I think that this is more of like mental illness. A lot of more people, especially after quarantine, have been so frustrated and they weren't able to deal with like being stuck at home, probably stuck with people that they didn't like. So a lot of people are just kind of losing their minds because there's no reason why anybody should be running up on stages and trying to hurt people. Like I have already said that Will Smith could have done something differently. This guy is
Mhm.
just mentally ill, straight up mentally ill. But there is a call it a video before quarantine though of this comedian being attacked on stage. Like this is nothing new, you know. So it's just that now people have phones and they just record things more. Comedians have been getting attacked for years, but I do believe that we definitely need to work on a lot of people's mental health, and this It's not about comedy going too far. It's just crazy people out here.
I think,
Do
I
you
also
think the
believe
guy should be
that
charged with a felony instead of misdemeanor?
Felony, yes. Go ahead.
yeah, I just believe it's just that people are too fucking sensitive, and
Thank you.
everybody knew what Dave
Hallelujah.
Chappelle is. Everybody know Dave Chappelle that even though he's joking, he is straight honest. Like he's telling the truth, and some people can't handle the truth sometimes. Is people just too damn sensitive. That's it. This ha
Thank
ha
you.
he.
Thank you.
But you don't need to attack someone because they made a joke. You got offended because it's the honest truth, and you couldn't handle it. So you went to the next thing you could do is assault someone. What you gonna do? Someone's gonna joke about they're gonna joke about Trump or whatever you feel, and you're gonna get offended. It's just a joke. Just take it. If you can't
Thank
take it,
you.
just be nice. Just do me a favor. Just get up and leave.
Go on.
You can't handle it. Just leave. You're just too sensitive. That's it.
Thank you. I'm a back Ken up with that because I thank you, Ken. Like yes, I am convinced to believe that this world has gotten way too into their panties. We are way too damn
Mm-hmm.
sensitive.
We're
Comedy is
Yep.
into the
comedy.
cancer.
Comedy does not mean that the statement is fake. The whole thing that makes comedy funny is that the statement is real or it's based
Yeah.
off some type of reality. But it's comedy at the end of the day. And I'm gonna make this real quick because I know we on time. But I had this conversation as a cancer with a friend, and they was like, "Oh, well, you're sensitive." I said, "See, that's when you get it mixed up. Sensitive is not when you're my friend or we're together and you make a comment about something that you know is sensitive to me, so I get in my feelings. That's not what we're talking about. That's a whole different level. But if I go to a comedy show, or better yet, I know that you're a jokester. One, if I know that you're a jokester, hopefully our relationship is at a point where you know it's certain stuff because of the relationship that you're not going to touch. But if I go to a comedy show, comedy is funny. If I'm going to go sit if I'm big, which I'm a little big, I don't think I'm that big, but if I'm big and I go sit in the front of a comedy show with a yellow shirt on and he says you school bus, you on a yellow bus, he doesn't know that, hey, I actually took the yellow small bus. But I'm at a comedy show. So I'm not going to sit there and get into my feelings. It's funny,
Yeah.
y'all. We're too
Yeah.
damn sensitive.
Yeah. Agreed.
I don't think it's necessarily too damn sensitive all the time. Because think about it, they used to lynch niggas for telling jokes back in the day. That's too damn sensitive. Now, I'm of two mixed minds of this because on one hand, like, look at the Will Smith joint, look at the T.I. joint, look at this. Like,
Okay, good.
there's a certain level where celebrities are doing certain things, heckling and smacking people. You encourage more people who are regular to do things for clout. So on one hand, like that dude should be for a felony because he didn't just tackle him; he had like a whole gun knife on him. Like he
Yeah.
could have done real bodily harm. So that should have been felony shit. But at the same time, like a lot of things we say is just true. It's really just stereotypes. They're not really true. They're just things that you say that people are going to agree with because that's what we boil people down to. And like even Dave Chappelle, he made a funny response to it after the fact, where it was like, "Oh, it must have been a trans man," and it's only funny in the context of like, as much as he goes on that community, who would be most likely to want to do something to him? But it's like if you do create a certain air of energy around you, then like, can you be surprised if people want to start messing with you? Like, look at Donald Trump, for example. Donald Trump, he's racist as hell, he's classist as hell, he has no class. But the man is funny. The man became president simply because he's funny. He tells stereotypes in a way that people agree with and see as true, even though they're not true. It's stereotypes.
Trump is
and it's the
not
same thing with a
funny.
lot of. He is funny. He's funny in a very arrogant, boisterous, clownish way. Like he's not funny in the sense of like, haha, he's actually telling well-intelligent jokes. No, he's funny in the really crass, like dumb comedy type of way that again half the country agreed with and loved enough to vote for him. We don't feel he's funny.
I did not
but that's
laugh at
because
all
he's
for
talk-
4 fucking years.
But the trans community feels the same way about Dave Chappelle. So, like, if your
Not
community that's
all
being
of them.
affected,
Not
not
all
all of
of
them,
them,
but a
though.
lot of them. Don't same thing with black people and
Because
and Trump. A lot of black people love Trump. So it's like it's not going to be all, but there's going to be a core of people who are like, oh, you're reducing us to a stereotype, and like again, you can tell jokes about anything, but you got to be clever. And if you're just reducing people to stereotypes, you might want to look over your shoulder every now and then. That's it.
Well, he didn't do
so
anything.
um,
Go ahead.
okay, so I'm still reading because something new came up. So they said that earlier Thursday, the Los Angeles County District Attorney Office announced that it will not file any felony charges against Lee. After reviewing, this is what they said. After reviewing the evidence, product. Sorry, I got a cough drop. They determined that while criminal conduct occurred, the evidence as present did not constitute felony conduct. Mommy. And that's from the district attorney.
Okay, but see, I want to say this. Like, he didn't make a joke about this man that ran up on this stage. Like, this is a premeditated attack. He came there with the gun knife and he waited for his moment to just run up and tackle him and try to stab him to death.
That's why it should be a felony because he put the knife on a dang gun. That's
I think the reason it's not felony is because they're like, well, he did get his ass beat hella bad, so we'll cut him some slack. We'll just give him a misdemeanor.
I don't care.
Please,
You
no.
put a picture of
What
him
he
up there.
really needs is to be institutionalized because he is definitely mentally ill. He definitely is. He needs to be in a psychiatric ward where he can get the
Is it
help
because
that
he likes Trump?
No.
Is it because he
He's
likes Trump,
actually
or is it
mentally ill.
because
His brother said he was actually mentally ill. So he needs to go and get some help. And because no logical ass person is going to run up on somebody and stab them with a gun knife because of a Trump joke. A Trump joke? Really? Okay.
yeah? All the
And
Trump
Dave Chappelle
jokes.
doesn't even go that hard on Trump for real. Like he said supportive things about Trump supporters. So like he said like we need to be able to understand him. So he just was really in his feelings.
Yeah. But you don't run up and hurt people, and that's why he got his ass beat. And Dave Chappelle got in that bitch. He said, "Pop, pop." I was like,
That's the rhymes too.
They said his face. He said he was like a whole different person after they were
My
done
thing
with
is this.
him.
Mhm.
Dave Chappelle is from DC. Do not run up on us, okay? We are a whole different breed. You can't run up because you gonna get done up. That's what we say. You run up.
But
Get
it's
done up.
also his show, so I would have just been
Like, we will hurt you.
That made that man's arm into a whole different shape. It bent the whole other way.
Y'all want to see a picture?
They've been on Twitter, they know.
Woo, child. But yeah, anybody else want to do the last 3 minutes? Yup. That arm said, do-do-do-dum.
Oh, his face is so swollen. Like
Yeah.
when you
They
see the
stumped
regular
his
picture of him, he
out.
actually has. In the regular pictures, he actually has like a jawline and everything. And in this other picture, he got.
Yup. Because they
That's
so
what it said,
swollen.
misdemeanor.
No, that's a minute felony. I don't care.
Oh, Lordy.
It should be,
All
but
right.
they're like, all right.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Let's go to our commercial break. Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. Since 2008, Tiffany's Creative Crystals has been making handmade earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. They do custom order and special requests depending on availability, and also repairs to jewelry depending on what is needed to be fixed. Shop with Tiffany's Creative Crystals.
Hello, everyone. So, the next topic is: do you believe that men can be in an abusive relationship just as women can? So, I'm gonna say a little bit of a situation. I'm not gonna go into full detail until the after show. So, me and my coworkers were talking, and we're both on the same page. He was telling me that, well, my old coworker, where I used to work with, I still talk to him time to time, and he was in an abusive relationship where though his girl used to, beat on him or hit him, but everyone sees though that he was lying. He was the abuser, not her, because she was the woman and the man. And he had all the evidence saying that, even the voicemail saying she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna f you up," and who this be, and all this situation. When you get home, I'm splitting your share. She put sugar in his gas tank. Split his J's. I don't remember what J's was. Split his J. This. Just to give him warnings, and it be times that he used to be like, "Yo, can I stay the night at your house?" Because I'm going in a situation. He used to have cuts on his face. A lot of messed up things with him, and I understood that he was in an abusive relationship, but a lot of people feel as though like he was lying. And remind you, she didn't have anything wrong, nothing on her face, nothing at all. And I just feel as though like he was scared to like even go to a cop, or even scared to tell someone. But he felt comfortable telling me because I was in the same situation. But I'm not gonna go into that detail. But I would like to get you guys point about this topic.
I
Uh,
totally believe. Oh, I totally believe that men can be in abusive relationships just as much as women, just as much. It's just not reported as much as women because men are supposed to be like the stronger gender or whatever, and it's, I guess it would be kind of like embarrassing, and they're more ashamed to say, hey, I my girl is beating on me. But I have seen an influx of men actually speaking out, especially on social media, where they're, showing that, hey, my girlfriend cut me, my girlfriend punched me in my face. And they're showing their black eyes now, like they're speaking out. And I'm proud of them for speaking out more because we have to take away the whole stereotype of men cannot be abused. Yes, they can. I've seen a live where this girl is beating her baby daddy up. I know everybody else has seen it, the black couple, and it was going around like maybe like 4 or 5 months ago. And she was just always hitting him, like punching him like a nigga. And and people were laughing. And I'm like, this is not funny. This is abuse. He
And
needs to get away.
sorry,
He was
and
he actually had to go fund me trying to get out of his situation, and people were donating, and I shared it because I was like, this is absolutely unacceptable. Men shouldn't have to take that just because they are men. They shouldn't.
it's
But go
so
ahead.
funny if he would have even mush her or even do anything, even put his hands on her,
Yeah,
then they'll look at him like, "Oh, you messed up for putting your hands on a woman." But when
yeah,
it's the other one, when the woman put her hands on a man, certain people feel as though, she did it because he kept abused for all these years. But what if
no,
it's not that? What if that's not the truth? You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
people like, what if that's not true? What if she kept beating him? He just wanted to tell like, "Yo, get away from me." He pushed her, and then you have some women will call the cops, say, "My man been beating on me," and he could be like, "Yo, I just pushed away from you. Get away from me." They look at him like, "No, you know what I'm saying? Like you beat on her. You know, it's just it's just a messed up situation."
Yeah, and I have an
Not
ex who was abused by his the mother of his children, and I feel for him so much because I'm just like he still has to deal with her. He recently had to go to court because she claimed that he was abusing her when he was kicking her out of his house. She don't live there, and he was telling her she needed to go, and he, she wouldn't leave, so he shoved her out the door, and she called the police, and he had to actually go to jail because he actually shoved her, and he had no, like, black eyes or anything that would show that she was actually the aggressor. And I just
Yeah,
feel for him. I feel for him because
I know
that's so
exactly.
yeah,
I know how you
it's
feel.
it's just
So I've been watching some things recently. The Color Purple and The Sopranos, and they're both pretty fucking lit. This is my first time watching them both, and we already know, especially with The Color Purple, all of the ways that the women were subjected to abuse and everything like that. And it's really good, and men should watch it as well as women. But something that you also pick up on these series, The Sopranos and Color Purple, and a lot of other things, is that this concept of masculinity as a prison, of like, you know, crushing your feelings down and just being tough and ready for anything. A lot of that comes from like just generational trauma. A lot of the things we say as being a man just comes from you need to be the one to protect in case of war, slavery, marauders, anything basically. And so we have a society, and we have civilizations societies that basically either have the man that's like only knows how to express his emotions to like stonewalling or being angry or violent and aggressive and more likely to be abuser, or the men who are like more henpecked and like end up being like controlled in relationships. Like there's often physical abuse that happens against men, and like we're also talking about hetero situations. Like also look at outside of hetero situations, there's all kinds of abuse happening there too. But also a lot of damage that men get dealt and abuse is also psychological. Like look at the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation. There's a lot of that situation where yes, she like threw a bottle and cut his finger. She like would hit him and then talk about, oh, I didn't punch you, I hit you. But a lot of it is also psychological ways that she was messing with him, like pooping in his bed, like the case she was building against him, like all the ways she would lie to him, and like look at the Johnny Depp situation. He's won in the public opinion, the court of public opinion, but he's still in a situation where like he can still very likely lose, and he can still lose the lawsuit. So I want for men to seek help. If you're going through these situations, start going to people who are willing to listen to you, who will encourage you to get therapy, who will encourage you to find your voice, and who will encourage you to document what's happening to you and getting out. Because so often it's the threat of losing your kids, it's the threat of going to jail, it's the threat of all these things that keep us in these situations that are destroying us and could lead us to joining that cycle of abuse.
Yeah, we lose. They don't understand. It's a lot.
yeah.
Okay, Glenn.
I kind of, to be honest, I don't get it. I know that sounds weird, but I get it and I don't get it. There's parts where I don't get it because I do feel like it has to be, and I'm trying to say this in the most respectful way, but it has to be a type of guy because most guys, and I've been in situations, it's certain stuff I'm just not gonna let go. I'm just not gonna let happen. You come swinging at me as a woman, there's two things that's gonna happen. Either I'm gonna grab you and we're gonna literally lay on that bed in a bed hug until you calm down enough to where you good, or I'm gonna dodge you. You know what I'm saying? Get you out my way and just leave.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a certain type of dude. Like I get the females because it can be more of a emotional state of mind and maybe that guy still does a lot of other stuff good. But for a female to a male, I may be the weird one out, but I don't get it. It got to be a special type of dude.
I
You're
mean,
not gonna sit there
but look at
abusing
you.
me and me.
I will,
So
I'll
But look at
say
your
this.
size.
my
Who's beating
man,
on you?
Well, I
Who's
think
beating on
it's
you, man? Like,
my
think about it.
you are in a relationship with somebody, and most times people who abuse people are narcissists, so they'll love bomb you and they'll make you
Yeah,
feel like they are like the best person in the world, because that's what happened to me. I was love bombed,
mm,
and it was like
same here.
after a while they just switch, like little by little they'll switch and do like
Just
little
flip.
things. That's how it starts, and it's like, okay, well, that was just something, and then it becomes like a pattern, a routine where they just routinely just abuse you, and by that time you're so invested that it's like you really want to try to change that person and have them seek help, but they just kind of don't, and you're just kind of stuck.
So I think that's
So
toxic relationship. I've been there,
yeah,
but I think
yeah,
that's
But
I
that's
don't
a
think that's
lot.
necessarily
Yeah.
toxic. I
But
don't think
that's
that's
also can go
necessarily
into
abuse.
abuse.
Yeah, but
But
so
a
I guess
toxic
that's
relationship can
you
easily
know,
go into abuse. It can
well. See,
easily go
that's
into
why.
abuse. Think about it.
So that's why I'm
I'm saying if
so
confused
you're
because I
if
don't see
my
what you're saying.
mom, hello, my mother always told me that if I have enough balls to hit a man, I should
you ready
expect
to
him to
get
hit me back.
hmm
Yep,
but
and
that's
Yep.
also the
that was her.
toleration they had for abuse back then.
Yep. If you
Like
if
So
you
what
got
like
I'm
if you
that's
got the balls to put if you got your balls to put your hand on someone, just know they're gonna put your hand on you. Doesn't matter you're a boy, girl, whatever color you are, whatever sex you are. If you don't want that person to put their hands on you, please do not put your hands on them. Period. Period. I
yeah.
remember.
so I
I
do believe
remember. I
that men
remember.
do get into.
I
wait, go
remember
ahead,
what
Karina.
Whoopi Goldberg got in trouble for that.
Go ahead, Karina.
So I do
Oh,
believe that men do like staying in stop it in relation. They should be in that relationship. They should just get out. A lot of men either the doesn't matter what kind of relationship, man, woman, whatever. Just because you're masculine in whatever relationship you're in doesn't mean that it's okay for somebody else to come and abuse you.
yes.
I think that it happens way too often. Men are way too embarrassed because they don't want to look like a punk because their other person wants to beat the crap out of them.
hmm
And at the end of the day, is if you guys not just I'm talking to everybody, female, male, whatever. If you guys let it happen and you keep letting them keep doing it, stop it the first time, tell them that's not okay, that is not good. You need to set your boundary right there and then. Let them know because they're gonna keep doing it because they think that it's okay. And a lot of times when I'm not trying to make any excuses or anything, but when females, sometimes when girls or female, let's call them girls, hit a man, it's mostly because they've seen that kind of abuse in other relationships, or they feel out of control, like they don't have control of whatever's going on in their lives, and instead of going to a therapist to talk about it, they're trying to hurry up and uh just trying to take it out on anybody, and the most comfortable person is their partner, and that's who they're going to abuse, that's who's going to hit, because more likely they're going to stay around even if they get hit or abused, and that is not okay. That's why I said the first time it happens, you better let them know. I got a book thrown on my face, and I turned around, switched up, and told him, "You throw another goddamn book at me, I'm gonna cut your dick off because I don't got time for that shit." And he knows I will do it.
But think about
So
that
you just gotta let.
situation. Like, if you did that, you would be the one arrested. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very
I don't
easy
care.
to wind up in an abusive situation and stay because you're like, oh, I can give it as well as I take it. But like, and also just the investment of all the time you put in, and like not having anywhere else to go. You might not have resources. So that's why it's like.
Guess what? It never happened again. It never happened again.
But that's that situation though. Like a lot of people is like, all right, it won't happen for now, and then later on, or just the relationship becomes distant, and you're just in a toxic thing where there's no more love. So like, it's very important that people figure out what their like values are in a relationship and communicate them, and also realize what their worth is. And if their partner is not going to give it to them, find what like if you can't do it right away because you're not. I want to say leave, but often people aren't safe or they don't have resources set up. So start preparing your parachute so you can get the hell out, because people don't just change, especially without therapy or anything like that. And even with therapy, some people don't change. Some people just find ways to like continue to excuse their own behavior. So if this is not the life you want to live, and you don't want like your kids, your family seeing you living like this, start preparing your parachute so you can get out of it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'll say one thing just to the people that's dealing with that. For me, hey, leave. The second that it starts to go that way, unless you have somebody sincerely, like, let's really fix it. Let's go talk to somebody. But especially for a female, if a man ever has to raise his hand to you and hit you to make a point, leave. Because it's only 9 out of 10 times it's only going to get worse. It is only going to get worse. There's no apology that man or vice versa female should be able to give you that you should have stayed. And I think about certain situations, and there's certain situations I've been, I call it toxic. I wouldn't call it abusive. But where that has happened and I stayed, those should have been red signs that immediately I should have hit the door. But
I mean, some people just they feel like they have to stay for the kids and stuff like that. And with the whole going to get help and stuff, I've done that before with Rampet's dad. I did couples counseling because of the abusive situation that he was putting me in, and we went to the counselor, did the stuff, did our homework that he would give us, and he still ended up being an ass. And he cussed me out, and I had to leave at that point because I'm like, look, I don't want to continue being hurt, So it's not always, therapy, getting help. They can say, oh yeah, let's go get the help and stuff, and still be an ass afterwards.
Right.
They also need to get to therapy for themselves too. They also like, it can't be. I said they also need to get therapy for themselves. Like couples counseling, that's a good step. But if we're also not getting counseling for ourselves, because sometimes relationships just need to end. Even if y'all like reach a point where it's like, all right, we are going to be better to each other. Sometimes y'all are better to each other apart from each other. So like, if you're just doing couples counseling, you're not going to be honest about that. You're going to try and hold on to this no matter what, versus saying, actually, I will love you better if I let you go.
Yeah. And I still can't even, because he's still an ass. He's still an ass. He literally does not know boundaries. A lot of abusive people don't have boundaries and don't care about people's boundaries. So yes, men can be abused, they can be hurt, but I really do hope that if you are in that situation, like my other co-host said, please leave. Men, women, trans women, gay, straight, lesbian, pansexual, non-binary, please leave. Just go. All right, y'all. Let's go to our next commercial break.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. Since 2008, Tiffany's Creative Crystals has been making handmade earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. They do custom order and special requests depending on availability. and also repairs to jewelry depending on what is needed to be fixed. Shop with Tiffany's Creative Crystals.
Was good, was good. I got a good one for y'all today. And this one is online dating messing up how we get to know and socialize with each other today. I have strong personality to this, and I think it does. I think that all this online dating and socializing, I've never wanted to blame the social media, but the tool I think has really screwed up people's mental on how they even deal with other people. I know, for instance, just me, small stuff like, what's the point of you putting on a dating? Or you so you're on a dating website. Theoretically, the dating website is supposed to get past the initial "I'm attracted to you, you're attracted to me," and you get to know at least a little bit if you actually filled it out. You get past that part. We both say we like each other, and then I ask for your number, and you're like, "Oh, well, I want to talk on this a little bit more." What? What? I don't get that. What's the point of you being on the dating website? I cannot date you just through the app. The point of getting your number is so we can talk on the phone. We can really get to know each other. We can set up some dates.
Hold on.
Huh?
Yeah, I was going to say that same thing. Like
Maybe she had
me,
that experience. Somebody talked.
yeah, I
Yeah, we can't
definitely
just get out the numbers.
approached that this way when I was on Bumble. I had to approach it as, just because I've talked to you for like a day doesn't mean that I need to give you my number. I need at least a week so I can see if you crazy or not. Because
But you would have been in the street.
You said what?
You would have if I had met you in the streets, right? Now, granted, how I approach it old school is I might have saw you at a bus stop. And that's my point. And that's where the technology is messing it up.
Most times when you meet somebody in the street, you can kind of see a vibe. Like you can see how people, their ticks and stuff like that. So
you're
I'm not
scared
gonna
because you don't see the vibe?
You said what?
Because men be crazy.
Like I feel energy, so I'm not. Like I can tell if you got some crazy energy, if you got some chaos within you.
Glenn, would you give someone?
But no, I feel like when it comes to like I've had people act as if they had no kids, and if I had given them my number within the day, I would have been talking to somebody with like 5, 6, 7 kids. That actually happened. I waited and waited because dude was like, "Can I have your number?" I'm like, "No, not yet. I'm just meeting you. Let me make sure that you're not crazy." So like, I asked him, "Tell me about yourself." He told me a little bit about himself, and then he's like, "Oh." I was like, "Hey, do you have children?" He's like, "Yeah, I have like 6."
You make all that noise.
I don't know.
My side.
So he's like, he has like 6 kids, and I'm like, "Oh, sir, what?" And I think the youngest was like 2. I said, "Sir." Yes, the youngest was 2. His oldest was getting ready to graduate high school, and his youngest was 2, and he was younger than me.
Oh my God.
Yes. So I'm sitting here like, "Sir, what the hell?" And I had to cut it off because I'm like, nope, you're not. That's a thing on my checklist that I do not want. I don't want anybody with kids. That is why I'm with our editor. Okay. So yeah. And we talked for like a good maybe 2 weeks over Bumble. We talked for a very long time before I gave him my number. Okay.
Giving people information about you.
Like this messes it up, huh?
There should be trust there before you guys Do that. That's why there's an app. That's why it has the messaging, so you guys can message back and forth without having to put your information out there like that, just to keep it safe. Because there are a lot of people who are stalkers, who are kidnappers, especially since
Yep.
there's a lot of, like, out here, we have a lot of human trafficking.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be caught up in that.
Yeah.
So yes, I will
But-
message you the crap out of you for days
Yeah.
and maybe a week or so before I even think about giving you a number. I want to meet up
Thank
first. I'll be like, hey, let's meet up.
Yeah.
Or
You know,
And
my
some
phone-
people.
well, but
and
going
it's
back
not
to
just
whether or
men.
not, it's actually affecting how we socialize. For some people, I'll say it actually helps them. Like if you're introverted, you're not really that good at, meeting people like on the outside. I would say online dating is great for them because now they can, get comfortable with that person before actually meeting them in person. But extroverts, I mean, I can say that some people probably will have like issues, like, trying to talk and stuff like that. But
And you can
I
always
feel
meet
like
up.
but once you meet that person, if they're comfortable with you, I feel like they'll be able to socialize. Like our editor is introverted, but like he was still able to hold a great conversation with me, like during our first date, and that's why I was like, okay, I like this one. So I would say that it can hurt some people, but not all of them. Some people it really helps them.
Yeah, like I think the best there's pros and cons. Like the best thing is like the safety that especially women have with dating now. That for example, as long as you're not like tricked and like with the trafficking situation or just an abuser who's like great at love bombing. But like think about queer and trans folk who can safely date in ways they couldn't 30 or 50 years ago. And like older people who are able to find love online who like just out in the street wouldn't be able to. But there are people
Or
who,
have
because they've grown up, yeah, and that's related. But there are people who've grown up so terminally online, they treat people like NPCs. So like they're terrible, especially in person and maybe even online too. They rush right to the thing and like don't develop any type of trust, any type of connection, any type of charm. And so I think it's very important that like you gotta think both online and in real life. Like you gotta be versatile with both. You gotta have some level of charm, some level of like being romantic and sensible, some level of how to woo and talk to women or talk to people in general. And like not when people feel like you're trying to rush them, whether it's into a relationship, into bed, whatever it is, they're gonna I'm good. So you need to like people in general just need to be mindful of that. Like don't let the thing of seeing everyone coupled up online make you feel like even more desperate to like be in a relationship or be with someone or be fucking someone because people read that desperation and it's gonna make even more people not want to mess with you and take even longer to get with someone.
Where Kenny?
I feel the same way. I think there's two ways.
Why he just standing?
He was just sitting there.
She was talking. Karina was talking. That's why I was listening to her.
No, I was asking you.
Oh, sorry.
Does she have-
I remember back then it was much easier. Like dating back then when you used to link up. Like you like interested in somebody, you guys probably meant to go link up like after school or at the mall or somewhere you get to talk, and get to know the person much more than on social media. Whereas you got some people who like to paint false information and make it seem like they're good. In reality, they're not. But how will we know we don't go out and actually get to know that person? Like I could be like, yeah, I'm this, that, I'm this person. In reality, I could have so much crime. I have a big long list of crimes you don't know, but I won't tell you that. But I'm telling you something that you want to hear.
Yeah. See, I do background checks though.
I was just about to say that. Literally just about to tell you. Every time every time I hear a lot of females and guys say, "Oh, I was talking to this person, I did a background. Oh, did you know that this person did this crime and it was like 10 years ago?" It's like, damn, that's 10 years ago. What if they was hanging on the wrong person? I don't care. They did this. He's off my list or
Exactly.
she off my list. Like,
Thank you.
damn.
It depends, because for some people, that's just what makes them feel safe, and for other people, they're like, "Hey, I've done some stuff too." My thing is just more so like figure out what is going to actually make your dating profile better, make you actually better at conversating with people. What's going to make you a better date, and like you don't even have to have a lot of money to go on dates. There's easy dates you can look up, whether it's like going to the park, whether it's riding on rocks and throwing in the river. Make it, but no, just find places that are like nature filled, like for picnics. Put in some level.
Not everybody's into that.
Not everybody, but what are you into, and then what are you looking for in a partner? Like you should want somebody who's into like similar things as you, who's going to expose you to things that you actually want to be exposed to. So like it's not just about getting with this and that person. It's about getting with people, whether it's like for a relationship or even just for like, you know, friends with more, friendship or friends with more. You know, regardless, like for me, I'm not necessarily pressed for a relationship right now, but any type of interaction I have, I want it to be something that I can talk to that person, I can enjoy their company, I can enjoy exploring new things with them. It's still fun, and then if a relationship comes from that, great. But you're not going to get those things just watching Fresh and Fit or Kevin Samuels. You're not going to get those things just simping for a Pokemon and like buying feet pics and part charts. You need to put yourself out there in ways that's actually going to expose you to people in ways that challenge you, in a way that like you're going to step up as a person and be a better person for it.
But the thing is, social media is your profile, though.
Profile can be faked up, so or
yeah, social media is your profile. Yeah.
Well, like, that's why we meet in public places.
But that's the thing. Like, if someone wants to get to know someone, like get to know them a little bit, they'd be like, "Oh, let me see your social media. Let me see your Instagram. Let me see your Facebook. Let me see your Twitter." It's like, man,
also made find out what they are.
That. I have the podcast on like Tinder right now. I have a picture of us on the podcast on my Tinder. Like, one is promotion, and two, hey, this is something I do, and hey, enjoy us on there. Like the more you hide of yourself, the more the person is gonna either try and find out, or when they find out later, it's like, why didn't you tell me? You know, like if it's not gonna risk your safety, why hide it?
And, my thing is, the more I think about it, and the more I think about it, and the more I see, I don't think it's necessarily bad or wrong. I guess it's more the person. I guess I'm just more old school. I'm more actually meet you. You can put anything on social media, but I can have a date or talk to you for 5 seconds and know right up. I'm different. I see and I see with a third eye too. So I can be out and look at you, and within 2 seconds, see I'm going to make sure I say this right. I can see into you more than the average person can. So I may see something right away that I'm not going to even deal with, compared to I can't really use that gift online. I can kind of get stuff through a picture, but not like I can if I see you out in person. So I'm just more old school. Up front, let's really get to know each other and
make that person feel comfortable, so that they want to see a person.
Just because y'all went on 1 or 2 dates, we'll assume getting phone numbers or emails or whatever that you want, just because you were nice enough to take them out. You got to build that trust first, and then after that, then I can see it. But if you can't get her number, just be like, "Hey, can I get your email?" Or, "Hey, can I get something?"
Your IG.
But especially if you really want to keep in touch like that. But even if she says no, it doesn't mean that she doesn't 100% trust you. Maybe something happened in her past to where she's not comfortable giving just anybody her phone number. Because I've worked with people for years. My number.
Okay. Well, all right. We have to go to our next commercial break. Sadly, we'll finish this on the after show.
Yeah.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. Since 2008, Tiffany's Creative Crystals has been making handmade earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. They do custom order and special requests depending on availability, and also repairs to jewelry depending on what is needed to be fixed. Shop with Tiffany's Creative Crystals. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
A also final topic is who should get to fly their flag? I think I said it right. Christians or Satanists? So there was a new unanimous Supreme Court ruling involving with who's getting to fly their flag over in the Boston City Hall. There's actually this guy, his name was, let me see, Harold Shirtfleff, and he wanted to fly a Christian flag over Boston at their City Hall for Constitution Day. And they rejected him and said, well, no, that looks like an endorsement of Christianity, especially for something marking the day that we're like honoring the signing of the Constitution. And the Supreme Court, like I said, unanimously said, no, you're violating his religious rights. And so the Satanic Temple came along and was like, well, how about you let us fly our flag for Satanic Appreciation Week, which is actually July 23rd to 29th. So if you're Satanist and you didn't know, now you know. But I'm personally someone who rocks with them on this. Like, you'll never see me like hailing the Dark Lord like I'm on Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. You'll never see me playing with no Ouija boards. If I'm in a horror movie situation and like people pulling out, I'm out. I don't play with the devil's name. But I love, especially like we see with the abortion thing and everything else, Christian fundamentalists taking more and more and like just killing all the separation of church and state. And the people who constantly stepping to them and like challenging them each and every time are the Satanic Temple. But what y'all think about the situation?
I think they should be able to fly it. I mean, we are supposed to be in America where we have religious freedom, right? So they should have the freedom to celebrate their week with their flag. Let them do it. Like, is it going to kill you guys? Is it going, like, it's not like the flying of the satanic flag is going to like cause people to become Satanists. I mean, I've even looked into Satanism and it's not what a lot of people think it is. It's actually pretty nice. Like, the people
Yeah.
like, oh, let me commit evil acts and sacrifice. That's not what it is. So I wish that people would stop putting that is it stereotype or that whatever.
Yeah.
Stop putting
Yeah, stereotype, Satanic Panic, yeah.
it's not that. So please stop. So, and my thing is this, like you said, separation of church and state. Why are we flying the Christian flag? I didn't even know they had a flag. What does it look like? I want to know. I need to
Yeah, it's like a red cross on it. It's like white and blue.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
so basically the Templar
Dominican flag.
The
Yeah.
Knights of Templars flag. What the
It
hell?
depends on which Christian.
The Knights of Templar.
It
That's
depends
their
on which
flag.
branch too. There's
No,
different
it shouldn't,
branches
But like,
of
it shouldn't matter
Christianity.
which branch. I think they have
yeah,
one singular flag.
Yeah.
From
yeah, and
No,
like, as much
there's
as we call it a Christian
different branches
nation,
that have
like,
flags too.
you said what, hon?
I think it should not matter what you believe in. If you want to put your
Yeah,
flag out, put your flag out. Put your freak
yeah.
flag. Woo!
Christian,
Woo!
Christian flag.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
I'm the same. Definitely, you shouldn't. Yeah, put it out. Like, why not?
yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like I said, we I don't know. We're just in a state of a world where everybody's so sensitive. Everybody up in their buttholes. Like, just put it out. Like, it's not gonna hurt nobody.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not
really,
gonna
come
hurt
on,
a
people.
soul. It's not gonna hurt
If
a
they're not gonna go to
soul.
church, you're not gonna go just because you put a flag up. It means
Thank
they just don't want to
you.
go to your church.
Because Satanists could feel the same way. Atheists could feel the same way about y'all putting y'all Christian flag up on the city hall. They can feel that way, like, why do they have to fly their flag? Like,
That's why a
let
lot of
people.
people are upset about, like, "In God We Trust" or "One Nation Under God." A lot of people don't like that because they're like, well, it's especially like not saying all pagans or whatever, but some pagans be like gods, not God, or if you don't believe in God, under me, one nation under me today, or under the president. But that's why, like, back when was it, the 90s, early 2000s, they were fighting about that, the having under God or in God we trust.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, we're, like you said, state and religion supposed to be separated, and it's not.
The Satanists were denied, right?
well, the thing was that they said that the time that they filed, they already had stopped taking applications, but they said because of the Supreme Court ruling, they're considering whether or not to basically allow them to fly their flag. So, because the city originally didn't even want to let the Christian fly his flag, because it's like, no, it looks like we're endorsing Christianity if we do this. And of course, we're in a country where Christian fascists, Christian nationalists have taken over. And what's funny is these Satanists aren't even like praising Satanists. They're just like atheists who like are all about secularism, and they like really want. They know it gets under the Christian skin to be like and challenge them like, oh, you want prayer in school? Well, we shouldn't be able to meet in school. We should be able to do basically all the things you want to do, because as much as you say this is a Christian country, it's really not. And it's not a theocracy. It's not supposed to be enforced that way.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kenny.
I mean, you can fly whatever flag you want. It ain't bothering me. I'm gonna just keep my day pushing. To be honest, it really bothers me.
Yeah.
You feel as though you want to fly, you want to put up a Christian flag, whatever flag you want, you please to just put it up. I'ma just keep my day going and mind my damn business. That's all that
Thank
matters.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Like, who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Like,
Exactly.
why does
It's
it
not messing
matter
up my
to you?
pocket.
Does it hurt you? Does it hurt you? Is it going to make you die sooner? Is it going to take food out of your
No.
mouth? Is it going to not pay? Is it going to pay your bills? Like,
Hell no.
Well, I was gonna say, remember, a lot of this is like
the
those Christian
flag-
fundamentalists. Oh, go ahead.
No. Hold on.
Yeah.
Editors asking, what if the Klan wants to fly their flag? They already do. What if the Confederate
And they get police
flag?
protection.
They already do it,
Mm-hmm,
especially
yeah.
in the South. They do it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a whole flag of treason too.
they do it. Sorry,
But
editor.
what's so funny is growing up, you like, especially if you grew up in a church.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I
No,
still
let's just
understand
say,
why people can't just mind.
Yeah,
because there's people who want this to be a Christian nation. They're like Christian dominionism, like a lot of the support for like Trump and Pence was to make it a Christian nation. And it's like,
It is.
those are the people who don't realize that they're bringing about the end times. They're the ones who are like you grew up, if you grew up in a church, you grew up thinking, oh, is it the people who are being too like liberal with the Bible who's going to bring about the end of the world and this one world religion and all that? Like, no, if it's anyone, it's going to be those types of Christians who
What?
are in all of our laws and all the other things.
They worry about the damn fucking flag flying, whoever flying. They need to answer questions that people have. It's questions out there that people like to ask Christians about, and they can't even answer the question. So why you worrying about some damn flag? Answer the question that some people have, and then worry about the damn flag. Because I got a hell lot of questions.
But that's it.
I got a hell lot of
That's the
questions
thing.
about Christians.
They don't even want to answer the questions. They just want you to just shut up and just go along.
They don't got no answer.
Nah.
That's
Just
why
answer
I
my
can't.
damn questions, and then keep it pushing. That's it. I don't give a fuck about that flag. Just answer my damn questions. Then we can be talk. Then we talk. Other than that, I ain't answering your questions. I don't care.
Yeah, it's
They
crazy
put me off.
because it's like, why does what other people do matter so much to like? And it's not like I never hear Muslim people, my people, talking about, oh, why do they have this? Like, let me tell you what we're taught to do. When we go to someone else's church, someone else's place of worship, we are supposed to act as if we are a part of that church. Okay?
Right.
So if I was to go to a regular church, if I was to go to a synagogue, I am supposed to do as they do. I am supposed to respect them because that I would want them to respect me as well. We have to start respecting other people's religions. Unless it's Jared Leto with his weird ass cult, then that's a whole other story. But
cult's a different story.
but when it comes
That's a
to
good
other
one.
religions, like if I was to go to a Satanist church, I'm going to act as if I am a part of that church. We need to stop being worried about everybody else and worry about our goddamn selves. Be worried about yourself, okay? Worry about your kids that's over here being mass shooters and shit, okay? Worry about that. Let's worry about the fact that your ass ain't getting food on the table because you worried about a goddamn Satanist flag. Who cares?
Amen.
Worry about why your daughter name is the topic of the family cookout.
Yeah. Why? Tell me why your cousins are married. Tell me that. Okay? You're worried about the wrong shit.
Wow.
Let's be worried about the fact that taxes are being raised. Let's worry about other shit that the Supreme Court is doing. Worry about that. Worry about that. You're not worrying about a fucking flag or a statue. They ain't got shit to do with you. You got crosses and everything all around the world. But one group wants to fly a flag and you're acting like the whole world gonna end. God damn it.
Yeah.
Y'all act like the world gonna end because somebody flew a damn flag of Satan. Hail Satan. Boom boom.
Well,
Get all the religion flags and post it up at one time. Call it a day.
Thank you.
Let me draw a map of my make believe religion today.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a microphone, a picture of an eye, and an earring.
Hey,
And a mic.
kaboom. Kaboom.
It's gonna be called
Like, we worry about the wrong shit here in America.
ND Rita religion. That is what my new religion is, y'all.
Y'all worry about
Go for
tarot
it.
cards. Ain't worry about your uncle that been sleeping with your daughter, okay? Molesting your kids and shit. But you're worried.
Got
And they want
pregnant.
to take
She
away
can't have an
abortion.
abortion. She can't have an
You're
abortion.
worried about the wrong shit. Okay? Worry about your kids' grades. Okay? Worry about
the
your
wrong
person
thing.
that raped the girl at the party because you drugged her. Worry about that. Let's worry about your mass murdering ass cousins and uncles and shit. Worry about the real things. Okay?
They worry about the wrong thing.
I'm done with it. I'm done with the worry about now.
Worry about the wrong things.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Uh, let's take our last break.
Roma.
Artemis of the Dodecatheon is a fantastical whirlwind of action, strong characters, mystery quests, and a lot of drama. 4.9 stars on Inkit. Purchase it on Amazon today. Since 2008, Tiffany's Creative Crystals has been making handmade earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. They do custom order and special requests depending on availability, and also repairs to jewelry depending on what is needed to be fixed. Shop with Tiffany's Creative Crystals. A to Z Creations is a Black woman-owned business that creates customized items such as rolling trays, clothing, tumblers, glasses, bags, jewelry, and more.
All right, you guys, it is time for our promotions. As you guys know, I am doing a fundraiser where I walk 20 miles in May with my doggy to fight teenage depression and help with their mental health. So, you guys can click the link below in the description box and make sure that you guys donate because I want to make sure that everybody has enough resources for their mental health and can be living their best life. I'm also going to be promoting Boxy, which is a home decor subscription service that ships beautiful items once a month to your home. If you hate going to the store and not being able to decide on what to get out of all the choices, then this is definitely the subscription box for you. Use my code 10 off Queen Pedii. That's also linked below in the description box to get $10 off of your first box. Next, I want to promote my book, A Puppy Journey, Pet's World. It's about my emotional support animal and how she saw the world through her eyes. You can purchase it on Amazon for Kindle. Last, I want to promote my blog, Queen Pedii Writes. You can find articles, craft videos, reviews, and more.
Hello, I want to promote Karina Creations by me. I make candles. This is a coffee one. It smells really good. It's all natural. It's made with soy wax. I also make pillows. I make lavender sachets. I also make soaps. So if you need anything, just let me know, and I got you.
So this week I'm going to start fundraising with Believe New York, which if you don't know, we're a nonprofit organization that's looking to connect New Yorkers with the resources and services that they need in otherwise desperate times, helping with essential items, housing, appointments with mental health counselors, and even Christmas presents. So wish me luck, but also visit the website so that you can help support. And speaking of much needed services, I'll be working with a member of East Village Mutual Aid and Anarchy Row to basically do a mutual aid tabling in the Lower East Side, Thompson Square Park, where we're going to be providing educational materials, food, drinks, and just helping out that community. We're going to be doing that this Sunday, so hit the link if you want to support the mutual aid. The link's going to be below if you want to support that particular tabling. My cash app will be below. And if you just want to overall coordinate with me, maybe even bring food if you're in the area, DM me on Instagram. My link will be below for that as well. And finally, I booked a session at the start of the week with two-time special guests to the podcast and published author of Artemis of the Dodecatheon, J. Allen Winchester. And let me tell you, they are amazing. If you've read the book, you know how amazing they are with storycraft, with world building, with fantastical tales. And if you have a dream inside you that you want to bring to life, that you want people to be able to read, finally, versus you still telling them about it, hit up their Patreon. The link is going to be down below because you don't want to die with your dream inside you. You want it to come to life. And he can help you do that.
It's your boy, the Visually in Focus. Y'all want some pictures done, man? We're working on a lot of projects right now. And just to let y'all know, it's not just pictures, it's videos too. So if you have any ideas, any short stories that you want to bring on to YouTube and you want actual video of it, hit us up. We're into all of that. Also, me as an artist, by this Friday at 5 o'clock p.m., I'll also be releasing a new poem online. So definitely check out the TikTok at 5 o'clock. I'll be releasing that. And it's pretty much I gotta take off. I'm living for self now, so step off. And the whole poem is talking about me taking off. It's time to go. It's time to go to the next level. So check it out, and we'll talk.
Hello, everyone. Owner of AwesomeAbility.clothing. Right now, I am promoting what we call a new Awesomability logo. With that, it's going to be a combination of fruits and a heart of things like that you love to do. I am also creating small jewelries for your crops and little pins for t-shirts to show support. For more details, you can message me at awesomability.clothing on Instagram, Facebook. Thank you.
All right. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and follow our Discord. Make sure you guys check out the after show at 9 p.m. on Twitch and on YouTube. And yes, I know, right? Like, yay. And just, follow our IG, follow our Facebook. And we will see you guys in the next episode. Well, actually, the after show.
Yes, I can't wait to see you on Twitch.
Yes.
Boom, boom,
This is not your normal session.